नमस्कार। अखिल भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद पूसा दिल्ली के प्रांगण से मैं अनूप खजूरिया आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं। आज अखिल भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद का 85वां स्थापना दिवस है। इस अवसर पर हमेशा की तरह देश के कर्मठ मेहनती कृषि वैज्ञानिकों को पुरस्कारों से सम्मानित किया जाता है और आज महामहिम राष्ट्रपति श्री प्रणब मुखर्जी इस समारोह में कृषि वैज्ञानिकों को सम्मानित करेंगे तथा स्थापना दिवस पर अपना विशेष भाषण भी देंगे। इस अवसर पर अनेक गणमान्य व्यक्ति उपस्थित, इनमें श्री शरद पवार, यूनियन मिनिस्टर्स फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एंड फूड प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्रीज, एंड ही इज आल्सो प्रेसिडेंट ICAR सोसाइटी, Shri Tariq Anwar and Dr. Charandas Mahant, Union Ministers of State for Agriculture and Food Processing, and many dignitaries are gracing the occasion. And here is a time to give you a brief about ICAR. The Indian Council of Agriculture Research is an apex organization in the country spearheading agriculture research, education, and extension activities. ICAR was set up on 16 July 1929 on the recommendations of the Royal Commission on Agriculture. It was reorganized in 1965 and 1963. Over the years, it has developed a large research and training infrastructure and operates through 99 institutes, including bureaus, PD, and NRC, and 53 agricultural universities. ICAR is a apex body in the agriculture. The comprehensive initiatives taken by the council have led to the notable accomplishments in natural resource management, input use efficiency, climate resilience, secondary agriculture, and economic transformation of farmers through technological interventions. और यहाँ AP शिंदे हाल में सभी को महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का इंतजार, जो यहाँ किसी भी क्षण पधार सकते हैं। महामहिम राष्ट्रपति श्री प्रणब मुखर्जी पुरस्कार वितरण समारोह में जो पुरस्कार आज देंगे उनमें प्रमुख है सरदार पटेल आउटस्टैंडिंग ICAR इंस्टीट्यूशन अवार्ड 2012। ये पुरस्कार जो है वो संस्थाओं को दिया जाता है। आज ये पुरस्कार एक विश्वविद्यालय और 2 ICAR संस्थाओं को प्रदान किया जाएगा। AP शिंदे हाल खचाखच भरा हुआ और सभी को इंतजार है महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का। सरदार पटेल आउटस्टैंडिंग ICAR इंस्टीट्यूशन अवार्ड के अतिरिक्त जो अन्य पुरस्कार यहां पर दिए जाएंगे उनकी संख्या करीबन 70 के करीब है और 70 लोगों को यह अवार्ड जो है वो दिए जाएंगे। लेकिन इसके अतिरिक्त जगजीवन राम अभिनव किसान पुरस्कार 2012, ये एक ऐसे किसान को दिया जाता है जो अपनी बेस्ट एग्रीकल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस को दर्शाता है। NG रंगा फार्मर अवार्ड फॉर डाइवर्सिफाइड एग्रीकल्चर 2012। अब किसी भी क्षण इस समारोह के उद्घाटन के लिए महामहिम राष्ट्रपति के आगमन का सभी को इंतजार है। मैं पुरस्कारों की बात कर रहा था। परिषद ने कृषि और संबंधित विज्ञान पर हिंदी में तकनीकी पुस्तक लेखन के क्षेत्र में मौलिक और स्तरीय लेखन तथा भारतीय लेखकों को प्रोत्साहित करने के उद्देश्य से डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद पुरस्कार की स्थापना भी की है और ये पुरस्कार व्यक्तिगत रूप से अथवा लेखकों की टीम के रूप में प्रदान किया जाता है। इस पुरस्कार में 1 लाख रुपए नकद के रूप में दिए जाते हैं। कृषि और संबंधित विज्ञान के विभिन्न विषयों पर 4 पुरस्कार प्रदान किए जाते हैं, लेकिन एक विषय पर एक ही पुरस्कार दिया जाता है। कृषि और संबंधित विषयों के सभी मौलिक हिंदी तकनीकी पुस्तकों के भारतीय लेखक तथा 1 से अधिक लेखकों की पुस्तकों के संपादक जिनका स्वयं पुस्तक में उल्लेखनीय योगदान हो, इस पुरस्कार के पात्र है। हाल पूरा भरा हुआ और सभी को इंतजार है महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का। जब तक कि महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का आगमन होता है, मुझे मौका है आप सबको ये बताने का कि भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कृषि अनुसंधान प्रणाली रिसर्च सिस्टम विश्व की सबसे बड़ी प्रणालियों में से एक है तथा भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद राष्ट्रीय कृषि प्रणाली की सबसे बड़ी संस्था है। और 85वां स्थापना दिवस और पुरस्कार वितरण समारोह आज महामहिम राष्ट्रपति श्री प्रणब मुखर्जी के कर कमलों द्वारा परिषद मुख्य रूप से देश में बागवानी, फिशरीज, पशु विज्ञान सहित कृषि में अनुसंधान, शिक्षा और प्रसार के प्रबंधन और मार्गदर्शन का कार्य करती है। बैंड जो राष्ट्रीय गीत धुन बजाएगा, महामहिम राष्ट्रपति के आने में बिल्कुल तैयार। लगता है कि महामहिम किसी भी क्षण यहां पधार सकते हैं। और इस बीच में आपको बता रहा था कि भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद का एक व्यापक नेटवर्क है जिसमें 97 ICAR के संस्थान, 46 राज्य कृषि विश्वविद्यालय, 5 मानद विश्वविद्यालय तथा एक केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय सम्मिलित है। इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर रिसर्च देश में लाए जा रहे फूड सिक्योरिटी अधिनियम में एक विशेष भूमिका निभाती है। बहुत सारे अतिथि यहां विदेशी हैं क्योंकि ICAR के नेतृत्व में अनुसंधान कार्यक्रमों को इस प्रकार डिजाइन तथा संचालित किया जाता है ताकि विज्ञान की शक्ति का उपयोग करते हुए सभी के लिए खाद्य, पोषण तथा आजीविका सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित की जा सके। मैं आपको यह भी बता दूं कि विगत में हरित क्रांति लाने में परिषद की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका रही है तथा बाद के कृषि विकास के फलस्वरूप 1950-51 से खाद्यान्न का उत्पादन में 4 गुना, बागवानी फसलों में 6 गुना, फिशरीज में 9 गुना, इसमें जो ओशनिक है उसमें 5 गुना तथा इंलैंड में 17 गुना बढ़ोतरी, दूध में 6 गुना तथा अंडों में 27 गुना उत्पादन तक बढ़ाने में देश को समर्थ बनाने में अनुसंधान तथा प्रौद्योगिकी के द्वारा परिषद ने प्रमुख भूमिका निभाई है। ICAR का 85वां स्थापना दिवस एवं पुरस्कार वितरण समारोह जो हर वर्ष 16 जुलाई को मनाया जाता है और आज के दिन महामहिम राष्ट्रपति श्री प्रणब मुखर्जी स्वयं अपने कर कमलों द्वारा पुरस्कारों का वितरण करेंगे। और यहां ICAR पूसा के AP शिंदे हाल में सभी को इंतजार है महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का, जो यहां किसी भी क्षण पधार सकते हैं। आप इस समय देख रहे हैं कि हमारे बहुत सारे विदेशी मेहमान भी इस हाल में उपस्थित हैं क्योंकि भारत एक प्रमुख देश है जो कृषि अनुसंधान के क्षेत्र में मार्गदर्शन करता है कई अन्य देशों का। महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी किसी भी क्षण यहाँ एपी शिंदे हाल में पधार सकते हैं। सभी को उनका इंतजार ताकि वो आए और समारोह की गतिविधियां शुरू की जा सके। आईसीएआर बहुत सारी अधिदेश के ऊपर कार्य करता है। इसमें शिक्षा, अनुसंधान तथा इसके अनुप्रयोग हेतु योजना बनाना, संचालन, सहायता, प्रोन्नत तथा समन्वित करना तथा इसका कृषि, पशु विज्ञान, फिशरीज, कृषि वानिकी, गृह विज्ञान और संबंध विज्ञानों में प्रयोग किया जा सकता है। हमारे दूरदर्शन के कैमरामैन सजग प्रहरी ताकि इस समारोह का हर चित्र आपके द्वार पर पहुंचाया जा सके। राष्ट्रीय कृषि अनुसंधान प्रणाली, जो कि भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद का एक मुख्य उद्देश्य है, उसमें वे अपने प्रकाशनों एवं सूचना प्रणाली के माध्यम से कृषि, पशुपालन, फिशरीज, कृषि वानिकी, गृह विज्ञान और संबंध विज्ञानों से संबंधित सामान्य सूचना और अनुसंधान के लिए क्लियरिंग हाउस के रूप में कार्य करना तथा प्रौद्योगिकी हस्तांतरण कार्यक्रमों का प्रारंभ एवं उन्हें बढ़ाना इसमें शामिल है। इस हाल में समय देश भर से आए हुए कृषि वैज्ञानिक, कृषक यहां पर उपस्थित हैं। सभी को इंतजार है महामहिम राष्ट्रपति श्री प्रणब मुखर्जी का, ताकि वो यहां पधारें और समारोह का आरंभ करें। इस बीच में आपको बता रहा था कि जो राष्ट्रीय कृषि अनुसंधान प्रणाली है और जो मुख्य उद्देश्य है आईसीएआर का, उसमें अनुसंधान, शिक्षा, प्रशिक्षण के क्षेत्र में परामर्श, सेवाएं उपलब्ध कराना, उन्हें प्रारंभ करना तथा विकसित करना और कृषि, कृषि वानिकी, पशु विज्ञान, गृह विज्ञान, फिशरीज व अन्य विज्ञानों में सूचना का प्रसार करना शामिल। फसल कटाई के बाद की प्रौद्योगिकी सहित कृषि से संबंधित ग्रामीण विकास के व्यापक क्षेत्रों की समस्याओं पर सहकारिता कार्यक्रमों के विकास द्वारा अन्य संगठनों जैसे कि भारतीय सामाजिक विज्ञान अनुसंधान परिषद, वैज्ञानिक एवं औद्योगिक अनुसंधान परिषद, भाभा परमाणु अनुसंधान केंद्र, विश्वविद्यालयों आदि के साथ सहयोगी कार्यक्रम विकसित करना और उनकी समस्याओं पर ध्यान देना है। पचासीवां स्थापना दिवस एवं पुरस्कार वितरण समारोह इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर रिसर्च, एपी शिंदे हॉल और आईसीएआर का प्रांगण, देश भर से यहां कृषि वैज्ञानिक और किसान उपस्थित। सभी को इंतजार है महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का कि वो पधारे और हमें समय है हमारे पास ये बताने के लिए कि विश्व के किसी भी अन्य विकासशील देश की तुलना में आईसीएआर के पिछले अनुसंधान योगदान तथा इसके साझेदार विशेष रूप से उत्कृष्ट रहे हैं और ये हमेशा स्पष्ट रहा है कि कृषि अनुसंधान तथा विकास में किया गया निवेश हमेशा लाभदायक होता है, क्योंकि इसका कृषि की सकल और इस बीच शरद पवार कृषि मंत्री, उनके साथ हैं तारिक अनवर साहब और स्वयं महामहिम राष्ट्रपति श्री प्रणब मुखर्जी पधार चुके हैं। इस समय AP शिंदे हाल में
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 85th ICAR Foundation Day and Award Ceremony of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. We are indeed honored today with the presence of Honorable President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, amongst us. We start the program with the ICAR song. I request Dr. S. Ayappan, Secretary Dare and Director General ICAR, to give the welcome address and make a presentation on the achievements of ICAR.
Respected Chief Guest, Honorable President of India, respected President of today's program, Honorable Union Minister of Agriculture and Food Processing Industries, Shri Sharad Pawar Sahab, guests of honor, Honorable Union Ministers of State for Agriculture and Food Processing Industries, Dr. Charandas Mahanji and Shri Tariq Anwarji, esteemed Secretary, Department of Agriculture Cooperation, Shri Ashish Bogana, Secretary ICAR, Shri Arvind Kaushal, Honorable Members of Parliament, esteemed invitees, Vice Chancellors, Directors, colleagues from ICAR, awardees, members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a warm welcome to the 85th ICAR Foundation Day and Award Ceremony. We heartily welcome the Honorable President and express our gratitude for gracing this occasion as the Chief Guest and consenting to deliver the Foundation Day lecture. Sir, your gracious presence makes this event a landmark in the annals of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Welcome to everyone here, and I seek your kind attention for a brief presentation on the journey and efforts of ICAR in the cause of Indian agriculture and the way forward in the service of the farming community. I also would like to say that this is a story of synergy between research and development departments in the ministry and a saga of partnerships between researchers in ICAR, state agriculture universities, and the farmers of this country. This is what, sir, we had this year: good monsoon beginnings, early sowing, and good sowing compared to last year. At the same time, challenges in Uttarakhand. Indeed, the agriculture in this country is a challenge every day, and that's what we are responding to on a daily basis. India today, 17% of the human population, just 2.4% of land. The land remaining same, cultivable land. The productivity has gone up. That's why we have these kind of food production levels of 259 plus million tons, also horticulture to the same extent. Changing cropping patterns with changing food consumption profiles, culinary preferences in the country, that's what this system is providing for. The context and concerns at this time are more from less for more, stress agriculture, a continuum from agriculture to employment, and a one health. That's what we are worried about, and that's what we are addressing now. Indian Council of Agriculture Research, a journey of 84 years of its existence, but it goes back further to the Imperial Bacteriological Laboratory, and today in 2013, it is Agri-Innovate India. This is the journey in the cause of the Indian farmer. The strength that we have, the starting point for all this to happen is the biodiversity in this country, whether it's plant or animal, and that's where we have institutions like nowhere else in the world for genetic resources management in terms of plant genetic resources, fish, microbes, animals, and so on. And with this, the next concern is with regard to water for agriculture, a key concern and a reference point for whatever we do in agriculture in the future. And in this context, again, water-saving technologies for dryland farming, rain-fed agriculture is such a big concern. 60% of agriculture is still under rain-fed agriculture, and different methods, mechanisms, systems that are going on, fully aided by geo-referenced soil fertility maps, integrated nutrient management practices, integrated farming systems for the eastern India, and further a unique initiative on national initiative on climate resilient agriculture, looking at drought tolerant cultivars and technology demonstration. I must mention at 100 different locations in villages that has brought great strengths in terms of interventions on protected agriculture or water conservation, customized farm machinery, and so on. All these are converging to smart farming, serve for small farmers. That's the paradigm as we go along in the 12th plan and further. Seed, the starting point, the joint efforts between DAC and ICR, I must mention the enhanced seed replacement rates that have resulted in productivity across crops and commodities, whether it's cereals or pulses, must be mentioned at this stage. High science, modern science that we talk of, genomics for productivity, quality, and resilience, whether it's in horticulture crops or pulses or rice, wheat genome, now it's buffalo and fish genome that we are into. Again, molecular breeding practices, marker-assisted selection. This in case of basmati rice, for example, very specific products that we have been able to produce. It was PUSA 1121 yesterday, and it is 1509 today for addressing all those problems of lodging and shattering with a productivity level of something like 5 to 6 tons per hectare. Sir, this one variety I must mention has given us 14,000 crore rupees of export earnings every year of the total of 18,000 crore rupees. The nutrition security, again, a big concern, and that's what we are addressing at this time in terms of biofortification. This is in case of rice, golden rice, carotene enhanced, and for the vitamin A. Or the landmark wheat variety releases that we have been releasing all the time. The latest one is HD 2967, the earlier problem of rust, and also several issues that come up, including terminal heat. That's a key concern. The HD 2967 adequates these issues adequately. Maize spreading everywhere, including the northeast. At this time, the quality protein maize, enhanced lysine and tryptophan contents, essential amino acids. Now we are at QPM 9. And in case of coarse cereals and millets, sorghum, finger millet, ragi, for example, all these a complete value chain from produce to the market in terms of health foods. And next is the concern with regard to pulses. Sir, we have been importing pulses. Last 3 years, again, efforts of the DAC and ICR together, we have been able to enhance the production to something like 17 to 18 million tons. It was 18 million previously, it is 17 million tons now. Summer mung, just of 60 days duration. My colleagues tell me it could be as less as 48 days. And short duration pigeon pea, these are being addressed. And the sugar cane, again, very recent varieties with juice, sucrose content of 18 to 19%, red rot resistant for different regions. IPM, integrated pest management, very adequately addressed in terms of, for example, the mealybug management with parasitoids led to 2,500 crore rupees of savings in 2 years' time. When it comes to horticulture, India is a leader, thanks to the varieties, private sector absolutely there, but public system has been providing a number of varieties for fruits, tropical and temperate fruits, and this is what we are next into getting to the roots. I must mention of potato, 40 million tons, entire seed produced from the public system. There are new aspects, new techniques like aeroponics for seed production in potato. And when it comes to the other things like cassava or the sweet potato, again for tribal regions, for food security, 10 million tons that we have today in terms of these roots. In case of animals, attention on the indigenous farm animals, whether they are cattle or buffalo or pig and goat, registration, and then very high science again, path-breaking efforts in case of cloning, cloned buffaloes, cloned Pashmina goat, for example, and the IVF cattle, or the embryo transfer technology in Mithun. Feed and fodder, a critical concern again between departments, between the DSC, between the Animal Husbandry Department, ICR, partnerships, non-traditional ingredients coming in, or the area-specific mineral mixtures aiding greatly. In the health management, a key concern, diagnostics and vaccines. This country is free of rinderpest, as we know. At the same time, a number of diagnostics, livestock disease reporting system with the Animal Husbandry Department. And here, today we are releasing also new diagnostics for DEVA application in FMD. All these have led to major gains in animal production, whether it's milk, as we know, sir, we are the largest producer of milk in the world. And similarly, in case of meat and eggs and so on. Fish, whether it's from freshwater or brackish water, marine environment, 8+ million ton. And what is happening newly is the potential fishing zone advisories, reducing carbon footprints in the sea waters, or from fish scale appetites, or the capsules from fish bone. A new program, sir, national program launched on Hilsa, very important in this country. Cage farming, a new dimension in Indian fisheries, sea cage farming for the tribals in Gujarat, for example, or the sea cage farm at Karwar that the Honorable Union Agriculture Minister visited last month. The farm mechanization from seed to market at different levels, complete mechanization happening, and further the women or the gender-friendly tools and equipments. These were actually the point of discussion at the first ever global conference on women in agriculture that we organized last year. 65 countries participated, appreciating this drudgery reduction. Higher agricultural education, where the quality human resource is required for all these. I must mention, sir, here about 60,000 students coming out of 65 agricultural universities. Many vice chancellors are here. The point at this time is inclusive growth. The girl students percentage, 40 at this time across the universities. But the demand is we need to double the capacities. Agri-HRD beyond borders. We are addressing the African nationals, Afghanistan, receiving them on a continuous basis. Now the ASEAN also coming into our fold. National Agricultural Education Project. The way forward is education in innovation, innovation in education. At the same time, aspire advanced learning and capacity building and e-governance. Krishi Vigyan Kendra that we are familiar. Today we have KVKs from Neoma in Ladakh to Nicobar. And the 634 KVKs at the district level, rendering a multidisciplinary service. At the same time, problem-solving approach with center-state interface, with state governments' interactions in terms of regional committee meetings on an annual basis. The National Agricultural Innovation Project in the last 7 years have brought in new models of value chain and markets, and that's where we are addressing primary to secondary agriculture, duly considering the post-harvest losses we have in different commodities ranging from 6 to 18%. And these have created such valuable assets in terms of IP, and then that's what we are looking for, incubators, agripreneurs, farmers to become agripreneurs. With these strengths, sir, the Government of India approved a corporate arm called Agri Innovate India to address all these dimensions. New initiatives for addressing new challenges in agriculture, Abiotic Stress Institute at Baramati, Biotic Stress Management in Raipur, and the Agricultural Biotechnology Management Institute, Agricultural Biotechnology Institute in Ranchi. These are new institutional initiatives. And going further, the open access policy of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research has received global accolades. The global partnership and linkages I must mention here, whether it's ASEAN or SAARC or BRICS, and now we're in the process of establishing institutions in Myanmar, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. The ASEAN-India Agriculture Ministerial Meet held at this very hall was a landmark event in our cooperation, and further also we are getting into global issues of transboundary diseases, for example, or as we go along, the issues of the new initiatives of Borlaug Institute for South Asia, a tribute to late Dr. Norman Borlaug, who enabled millions fed. So the strength of this country is the youth, the age that we have. While Asia would have aged by 2050, India would remain young. These are the projections. So in this context, we had the first ever conference on youth in agriculture. So they are the investments in future as we go along. And further, we had again a milestone event of the Centenary Science Congress at Calcutta that you had graced, sir. And on this occasion, the policy, the science, technology and innovation policy that was unveiled. And at this time, we also have the policy for R&D in agriculture, followed by the 11th Agricultural Science Congress that addressed the higher education by the National Academy of Agricultural Sciences. With the ASRB and the NAIP, it's a continuous new blood coming into the system. Over 700 colleagues, scientists trained overseas, including research managers sent to Harvard in the recent past. In the last few months, sir, you have blessed us with these awards. And as we go along further is the assessment, what's happening with the investment. This is the assessment of the Indian International Food Policy Research Institute. 1 rupee invested brings back 13.5 rupees. And that's the kind of analysis we have. And the future we want is resilient crop varieties and animal breeds. And in this context, continuous reduction of cost of cultivation and sustainable agriculture is everybody's business. That's how we have platforms with different departments and ministries. The last slide is the approach with regard to secondary agriculture, transnational research, a science communication strategy, the new science that we have to take to the society. In your gracious presence, sir, today we are launching a few initiatives. This is with regard to the Vision 2050 documents of all the institutes of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. We are looking that for 2050. Consortia research platforms, a maiden approach, bringing together everybody who has capacities, farmer first. That's a direct connectivity between the scientists and the farmers, keeping farmers in view, farming issues in view, the student ready, enabling students to become entrepreneurs as they go through the course, or the attracting, retaining youth in agriculture, considering the concerns we have with regard to migration. With all these, sir, we foresee climate-resilient agriculture. Agriculture is a sort of a profession. With these, we have been able to get the QMS, the ISO certification, quality assurance. With these, we seek your guidance further as we go along. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind attention.
Thank you, sir. As a mark of our respect and gratitude, I would request Shri Sharad Pawar, Honorable Union Minister for Agriculture and Food Processing Industries, to present a memento to the President of India. Thank you, sir. I would now request Shri Ashish Bahuguna, Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Government of India, to request the President to launch the Kisan SMS portal.
Thank you, sir. Respected Rashtrapati ji, today is a defining moment in agriculture for the farmers of this country as well as for the Ministry of Agriculture. Today, sir, under your guidance and with your blessings, we are launching an SMS portal for the farmers. Sir, traditionally, extension has been recognized as a weakness of Indian agriculture. We have in-house tried to use ICT to build a model by which we can send SMS advisories to all recipient farmers, all farmers who possess mobile phones, either from Delhi or from state headquarters or from district headquarters, KVKs, the agriculture universities. This single intervention, sir, has the possibility of changing the dynamics of Indian agriculture. I would, sir, the special characteristic of this messaging system is that it can be used to transmit messages not only in English, but if it is typed in Roman script, it will be transmitted in the regional languages that are opted for by the farmers. The farmers are free to voluntarily opt for either the crops or the systems in which they want the messages to be sent to them, sir. So we have taken the liberty of drafting a message on your behalf to the farmers. So if you would be kind enough to press the electronic mouse in front of you. Yes, sir. So this message is going out to 50 lakh farmers across the country, and as more and more farmers join in, we'll be able to expand the service further. So this is where all the messages will be funneled in from, whether it's from the KVKs or from the ICR system or the Department of Agriculture, funneling into this system and pouring down to each corner of the country, whether it's all corners of the country, to all the farmers who have mobile systems, and providing them with real-time based information, whether it's on prices or markets or schemes or even advisories to do with the weather. And with this, we hope to reach across all our initiatives across the country, sir. So thank you very much for your kindness in inaugurating the launch of the SMS portal for farmers.
Thank you, sir. On this occasion, we would also like to release 2 publications. I request Shri Sharad Pawar, Honorable Union Minister for Agriculture and Food Processing Industries, to release and present the first copies to Honorable President of India. The books are Climate Change and Sustainable Food Security, authored by Dr. P.K. Shetty, Dr. S. Ayappan, and Professor M.S. Swaminathan, and आधुनिक फल उत्पादन, जिसके लेखक हैं डॉक्टर रोशन शर्मा, डॉक्टर अनिल दुबे तथा डॉक्टर वी.आर. सागर. Ladies and gentlemen, we now begin the celebration of exceptional successes achieved by individuals and institutions through grant of ICAR awards in various categories. I request the Honorable President of India to kindly confer 5 national awards. The first award is Sardar Patel Outstanding ICAR Institution Award 2012. The award carries a cash prize of Rs 10 lakhs and is given to recognize outstanding performance by ICAR institutes, state agriculture universities, deemed universities and central agriculture universities. Under the agriculture university categories, the award is conferred on the University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore, and Dr. Narayan Gowda receives the award on behalf of the universities. The university is involved in interdisciplinary education at graduate and postgraduate level and has emerged as an educational hub with international repute. The award for Outstanding ICAR Institution in Large Institutes category has been given to ICAR Research Complex for NEH Region, Umiam, Meghalaya. I request Dr. S.B. Nichan, Director, to come to the dais and receive the award. The institute, located in the remote part of the country, has made commendable contribution to the agriculture research, extension, and educational development in the region. The award for Outstanding ICAR Institution in Small Institutes category has been conferred on National Institute of Animal Nutrition and Physiology, Bangalore, and I request Dr. C.S. Prasad, Director, to come onto the dais and receive the award. The institute, with a mandate to conduct basic and fundamental studies related to biophysiological translation of nutrients, has become a role model for scientific success of the country. The next award is National Jagjeevan Ram Abhinav Kisan Puruskar 2012, which is conferred on Shri Uddhav Asaram Khedkar. I invite him to come to the dais and receive the award. The award carries a cash prize of Rs 1 lakh and an equal amount as travel grant to promote his achievements across the country. The N.G. Ranga Award for Diversified Agriculture 2012 carries a cash prize of Rs 1 lakh and has been conferred on Major Manmohan Singh Verka. I invite him to come to the dais and receive the award. Major Verka has pioneered quinoa cultivation in Punjab and developed new techniques of sugarcane transplanting. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a big round of applause to the awardees. I would now request Shri Sharad Pawar, Honorable Union Minister for Agriculture and Food Processing Industries, to kindly address the delegates.
Respected President, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, my colleague, Minister of State for Agriculture, Shri Dr. Charandas Mohan, Sari Kanwar, Secretary, Department of Agriculture, Research and Education, and Director General of ICAR, Dr. S. Ayappan, Secretary, Department of the Agriculture and Cooperation, Shri Ashish Babura, Secretary ICAR, Shri Arvind Kaushal, Secretary, Department of Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, Shri Patri, Secretary, Minister of Food Processing, Shri Siraj Hussain, Vice Chancellors from agriculture universities, Director of the research institutions, representative of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome Honorable President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, to the 85th Foundation Day of the Indian Council for Agriculture Research. Sir, we are confident that your presence here will be a source of encouragement and inspiration, not only for the scientists and awardees, but for the entire agriculture community in the country. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the distinguished invitees who have made it convenient to be here and congratulate the award winners. The Indian 5-year plan witnessed an average annual growth of 3.6% in the agriculture and allied sector, against the target of the 4%. This represents substantial increase over the growth rate of 2.4 and 2.5% achieved in the previous two plans. The higher growth rate in agricultural production was brought about the improvement in productivity. Agriculture research has played a vital role in agriculture transformation, and the ICAR, in a partnership with agricultural universities, has developed a number of technologies that are being used by the farmers on the large scale. Many of our schemes and missions introduced in the last 2 years, 2 5-year plans, have paid rich dividend. RKBY, National Horticulture Mission, National Food Security Mission, bringing green revolution to the eastern India, have all achieved much more than what has been targeted. However, the climate change is threatening the growth of sustainability of the agriculture sector in our country. Most models predict that rising temperature and increased frequency of the extreme events will significantly impact production of the food grains, affecting both food security and livelihood of the millions of small and marginal farmers. The National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, under the aegis of the National Action Plan on the Climate Change, seeks to address issues related to sustainable agriculture in context of risk associated with the climate change. The ICAR has launched a national initiative on climate resilience agriculture to assess the impact of climate change on the agriculture and allied sector in the country and evolve cost-effective adoption and mitigation strategies. The technology demonstrations are being carried across the length and breadth of the country. There are other formidable challenges, such as the shrinking land base, dwindling water resources, shortage of the farm labor, increasing costs and uncertain associated with the viability of international markets, small farm traffic. Indian agriculture and their predominance continue to increase. More than 50% of workforce in the country is still reliant on agriculture, and its potential is principal source of the income. Farm profitability is essential to achieving rapid and inclusive agricultural growth. Diversification towards higher value crops and livestock remain the best way not only to improve the farm income and accelerate growth, but also to reduce the stress on the natural resources, which form the farmer's produce base. Therefore, accelerating the growth of agricultural production is necessary not only to achieve the target of 8% growth in overall GDP during 12th plan, but also to realize the inclusive growth. These challenges call for the paradigm shift in our research approach to harness the potential of the modern science, encourage innovations in the technology generation, and provide for enabling policy and investment environment. Some of the critical areas as the genomics, molecular breeding, diagnosis, and vaccines, nanotechnology, second agriculture, farm mechanization, energy efficiency, agri-incubators, and technology dissemination need to be given priority. Multidisciplinary and multi-institutional research will be of paramount importance given the fact that technology generation is increasingly getting knowledge and capital intensive. The advanced for agricultural research and development, it is required that both the private and public sector research and development organizations focus on the pooling resources and work collaboratively on the intensive agriculture researches for the next generation technologies. Foundation of Vision 2050 document by each of the ICAR institutes unfortunately coincided with the launch of the 12th five-year plan. In this plan period, as mentioned by DG ICAR a short while ago, a council has proposed to take new initiative to address several priorities areas in research, education, and extension. These include creation of consortia research platform in key areas where, besides the ICAR institution, other science and development organizations would also be participating short-term and focused research projects through scheme of the extramural grants, Agri-Innovation Fund, and Agri-Tech Foresight Center for the Research and Technology Generation. Sir, we are confident that the efforts of the Council will enable technological empowerment of the farmers to achieve higher level of input efficiency and productivity to ensure sustainable agricultural growth. I am happy to inform that the Bureau of the Indian Standards has granted a Quality Management System Certificate ISO 9001-2008 to ICAR headquarters and there on 5th of July. I am sure this recognition will encourage the ICAR family to perform even better in the days ahead. Of course, the real test of the ICAR lies in the farmer's field. If the farmer is able to produce more with a less input and earn better, then I will consider ICAR's interventions are successful. The performance of the last 5-6 years on the production side is definitely a story of success. We have been achieved the record food grain production for the last 3 years, which in fact gave policymakers a confidence to roll the ambitious National Food Security Ordinance. An interesting feature of the food grain production is that over the years, the gap between Rabi and Kharif production is reducing. With the 257 million tons of horticulture production, India accounts for the 30% of the total production of the horticulture crop and second in the world. The dairy sector with 128 million tons, India has emerged as the largest producer of the milk in the world and is expected to produce over 133 million tons of milk during the year 2012 and 13. Milk production has increased by about 25 million tons during the 11th plan, with a production of 8.6 million tons of fish. India is now second largest producer at the global level. The production of the meat, eggs, and fish is growing continuously. While increasing productivity as an essential component of the vibrant agriculture sector, improved post-harvest handling and the processing is essential for the ensure the value addition and reduction in the wastage, so good quality product reach in the market. Although India ranks the second in the world production of fruits and vegetables, only 6 to 7% of this is processed. compared to 65% in the United States of America and 23% in China. A well-developed food processing industry is expected to increase farm gate prices, reduce wastage, ensure value addition, promote crop diversification, generate employment opportunity, and boost export. With a huge production base, India can easily become one of the leading food suppliers to the world, while at the same time serving the vast growing domestic market of over 1 billion people. Food processing sector forms an important segment of the Indian economy in terms of its contribution to GDP. The sector contributes as much as 9 to 10% of GDP in agriculture and manufacturing sector. Urgent steps are required to be taken for developing agriculture markets, grading and standardization, quality certification, warehouses, cold storage, and other post-harvest management of the produce to address these problems. Honorable President, today you have launched the SMS portal of the Ministry of the Agriculture, which will also be used by the states. This initiative of the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation will enable farmers across the country to receive agriculture-related information and advisories as per their need and location in their own language. Your message to the farmers in this occasion will enthuse them of redouble their efforts for increasing agricultural production for the food and nutritional security of the country. It is a unique initiative and the biggest ever SMS portal created in the government sector. I am thankful to Honorable President for launching it. With these words, I once again welcome Honorable President Shri Pranab Mukherjee and request him to deliver the ICAR Foundation Day lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words of advice. May I now request Honorable President of India to kindly deliver the Foundation Day lecture.
Distinguished Agriculture Minister of India, Shri Sharad Pawar, Dr. Charandas Mahant, Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Processing Industries, Shri Tariq Anwar, Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Processing Industries, Dr. Ayappan, Secretary, Department of Agricultural Research and Education and Director General, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Shri Ashish Pahuguna, Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Shri Aravind Kaushal, Secretary, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, distinguished Vice Chancellors, eminent participants, distinguished awardees, guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a privilege for me to be associated with the 85th anniversary of Indian Council of Agricultural Research and also being honored to deliver the Foundation Day speech. When I was listening to the observation of Shri Sharad Pawar ji, my mind went back to the mid-70s, rather early 70s, when another distinguished son of Maharashtra, Shri Y.V. Chauhan, the then Finance Minister, while presenting the budget for the 1974, as many of you may be aware, it was one of the worst financial crises in that year, and where, after the presentation of the regular budget, certain measures were to be announced, almost in the form of a budget, to overcome the financial crisis. While presenting that additional proposals, which included impounding of dearness allowance, impounding dividend, and also certain strong measures against smugglers and profiteers, Shri Chauhan made his observations that whole Indian economy is moving around food, its production, procurement, and distribution. And I wish if I could have attained self-sufficiency in food production. After almost 4 decades, under the dynamic leadership of another illustrious son of Maharashtra, India has not only achieved self-sufficiency in food grain, but had the distinction of being the highest producer of rice, recognized by IRI 2 consecutive years. I take this opportunity of placing our record of appreciation to the leadership of Shri Sharad Pawar in stewarding the agricultural ministry during UPA 1 and UPA 2. And you have ensured that Indian agriculture stands on a firm footing. And the humiliation which as a young man I had to see, that Indian food minister in the 50s and 60s are moving from country to country with a begging bowl. Sometimes grain from USA under PL 480, or sometimes grains from other countries under bilateral donation. We are saved from that humiliation, thanks to the agricultural scientists and this great organization, ICAR, which is completing 85th year. At the outset, I would like to congratulate this august body for the distinguished services spanning more than 80 decades to this nation. ICAR was set up with an important mandate to plan and promote education, research, and its application in agriculture, agroforestry, animal husbandry, home science, fisheries, and allied sciences. It has today a comprehensive institutional infrastructure, including 4 deemed universities, 47 central institutes, 17 national research centers, and 25 project directorates to carry out its objectives. I am told that ICAR has developed soil fertility maps for 500 districts in 21 states. Decision support system of efficient nutrient management, watershed development models, resource conservation technologies in the Indo-Gangetic basin, 330 improved varieties of field crops and 186 varieties of horticultural crops. The technologies and human resource developed by ICAR have made a stellar contribution in the increased agricultural productivity and production. Ladies and gentlemen, when India gained independence, our agricultural system was underdeveloped. Food grains provision was not enough to feed every citizen. Before independence in 1943, our country faced one of the world's worst food disasters, the Bengal Famine, where in an estimated of 4 to 5 million people died of hunger. During 46 to 52, we imported on an average 3 million tons of food grains annually. National food security became naturally a priority on the agenda of national development. When first 5-year plan was launched in 1951, in course of presenting the concept and draft of the first 5-year plan in the Parliament, pioneer and architect of Indian planning, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru observed, and rightly so, everything can wait, but not agricultural. As a result, from 50 million tons of total production in India today, grain production is more than 200 million tons, almost 4 times. Research and development programs were launched. New technologies, especially the seeds of high-yielding rice and wheat varieties, were procured and adopted. As a result, food grain production started increasing and food imports ultimately ended. The era of ship-to-mouth existence made way for the Green Revolution. India is today a leading producer of essential food commodities like wheat, rice, fresh fruits, vegetables, milk, eggs and fish. It has transformed from being a food deficit to food surplus country and an export of agricultural products. This, in the face of an ever-increasing population, is a laudable achievement with few parallels. Our agriculture has become more resilient, despite our country facing 2 severe droughts during the last decade. Our agricultural growth remained well above the 200 million ton marks of grain production. Once again, I compliment the agricultural research and development system of our country for their untiring efforts. I am told that agriculture is now poised for a rainbow revolution fueled by technology-induced growth in horticulture, livestock and fishery sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, our agriculture sector has taken a great leap over the last few decades. Yet, there are challenges that lie ahead. Agriculture is the single biggest source of livelihood in our country. Some studies have indicated that a 1% growth in agriculture is 2 to 3 times more effective in reducing poverty than 1% growth in non-farm sectors. The average growth rate in agriculture and allied sectors during the 11th plan period was 3.6% as against the average growth rate of India around 8% during this period. To alleviate poverty, promote inclusive growth on a sustainable basis, and sustain food security, increase employment opportunities, boost rural incomes, our agriculture sector must be robust. We have envisaged the agriculture sector to grow at 4% minimum per annum during the 12th plan period. The agricultural growth in the 11th plan period was driven by improved agricultural price. During the 12th plan period, the growth is demand for major crops is projected to slow down. We have to achieve higher productivity level to attain the agricultural growth target for this plan period. We must place greater emphasis on productivity driving measures such as diversification of crops, improvement in seed replacement rate, adoption of high-yielding hybrid seeds, and improvement in water management practices. Though the Green Revolution in the 60s and 70s brought about a considerable rise in the food production, the disproportionate use of the chemical fertilizers eventually led to a decline in productivity. The need for balanced use of fertilizer and pesticides should be propagated amongst our farming community through agricultural education and extension programs. ICAR and other agricultural institutions are engaged to promote fertilizer use efficiently. Latest technology must be deployed to assist decision making by farmers regarding selection of crop variety, right agricultural practices, and the right markets to sell the produce. Ladies and gentlemen, the eastern region of our country, having abundant rural resources, natural resources, has the potential to achieve much higher crop productivity. At the same time, rice production in agriculturally advanced areas of northwestern India has become unsustainable due to overexploitation of natural resources like land and water. We have devised a strategy for increasing production and productivity in the eastern region to ensure food security while reducing pressures on the northwestern region. As part of the Union Budget for 2010-11, a fourfold strategy was delineated covering agricultural production, reduction in wastage, credit support, and thrust to the food processing sector. As part of this strategy, it was decided to implement the Bringing Green Revolution to Eastern India program under Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana in Assam, Bihar, Jharkhand, Eastern Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and West Bengal to address issues of rice-based cropping system in these systems. I am happy to note that as a result of these initiatives, farmers in the selected clusters have adopted new technologies, good agricultural practice, and benefited from the yield advantage of the hybrid rice technology. Ladies and gentlemen, about 85% farmers of India have landholdings of less than 2 hectares, which restricts their full potential for production. To spur productivity growth in such farmlands, it is necessary to develop low-cost, high-weight, multi-purpose farm equipments. Mechanization of the small farms is the need of the hour, as it can also mitigate labor scarcity during the peak season. Mechanization in agriculture should be facilitated by efficient energy management, to reduce dependence on conventional fuels and ensure sustainability, our research institutes must focus on renewable energy models like solar power and biofuels. Estimates have shown that seed quality accounts for 20 to 25% of the production. Timely availability of the affordable quality seeds is crucial for achieving higher agricultural production. I am happy to note ICAR and the state agricultural universities are engaged in production of the breeder seed of all major crops to meet this requirement. Agro-processing deserves priority in our agricultural policy framework. Post-production losses of the perishables and semi-perishables are very high in our country, estimated at 5.8% to 18% and 6.8% to 12.5% respectively. About 50% of these losses are preventable using suitable post-harvest technologies. Research should focus on cost-effective packaging technology to ensure easy transportation, product safety, and prolonged shelf life. Climate change poses a major challenge to agricultural production. The National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, launched under the National Action Plan on Climate Change, seeks to devise adaptation and mitigation strategies for ensuring food security. As the impact of the climate change could transcend geopolitical boundaries, we must actively engage with all national and international initiatives to chalk out a climate-resilient developmental strategy. Development and introduction of genetically modified crops has the potential to revolutionize agriculture. The concerns over their perceived risks should be addressed by following internationally accepted procedures for assessing safety parameters. ICAR, which is involved in developing useful products and technologies in this field, must contribute to the public discourses and provide clarity on this sensitive issue. Ladies and gentlemen, we must make agriculture an internationally stimulating discipline and a rewarding profession to attain talent in this sector. Agricultural education should focus on contemporary challenges of food insecurity, declining productivity, depletion of the natural resources, increased risk from climate change, regional imbalance, rising input costs, changing food habits, and post-harvest management. It must provide an academic framework to these issues for greater understanding by our policymakers. The quality and relevance of agricultural research must be enhanced to bring within its domain cutting-edge technologies like biosensors, genomics, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and alternative energy resources. In our economy, agriculture retains its primacy and importance in terms of value creation and employment generation. There are millions of farmers tilling on small and marginal holdings. Our challenges is to reach out to the last farmland and equip them with the best cultivation methods. improving the quality of agricultural education holds the key to driving not only agricultural growth but also developing technologies of sustainable agriculture leading to livelihood and nutritional security. I call upon the scientific fraternity to work towards a technology-led path of development of agriculture and prosperity for the farming community. ICAR has a brilliant history behind it. It has achieved results of great significance to this country and vast multitude of humanity. Your contributions, your relentless pursuit for excellence in agricultural education and research gives us the courage to believe in ourselves, to aspire for an India free from hunger, poverty, and deprivation. I am sure, as in the past, you will contribute to live up to the great expectations of this great country. I wish you all success in your future endeavors, and when you complete centenary, the nation will rejoice with great satisfaction. With these hopes, I conclude my observations. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for patience.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words of wisdom and advice. Now I request Shri Arvind Kaushal, Additional Secretary DARE and Secretary ICR, to present a formal vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a matter of great privilege that the Honorable President of India could take out time to deliver the 85th ICAR Foundation Day lecture. Sir, the ICAR is engaged in creative and practical ways to improve farming in the country. Your address holds out many lessons for us to improve our agricultural production and productivity. The Kisan SMS portal you launched and the publications that you released today will strengthen our efforts in this direction. Your presentation of awards to certain innovative efforts will encourage many more similar endeavors. The ICAR family is deeply indebted to you. I wish to express our gratitude to Shri Sharad Pawar, Union Agriculture Minister and President of the ICAR Society, for sharing with us his vision for the organization. Sir, will work hard and with passion to realize your vision. I also wish to express a profuse thanks to Dr. Charandas Mahant and Shri Tariq Anwar, Honorable Union Ministers of State. We are encouraged by your support and guidance. We owe a word of appreciation to Shri Ashish Bahuguna, Secretary Agriculture, Shri G.C. Pati, Secretary DADF, and Dr. S. Ayappan, Director General ICAR and Secretary DARE, for constantly guiding our efforts. I would also like to thank the Honorable Member of Parliament, the award winners, the Vice Chancellors of Agricultural Universities, Directors of ICAR institutes, and other distinguished participants seated in the hall. We greatly value your presence here today. This event is being carried live across the country and is being watched with particular interest by the ICAR's stakeholders. We are grateful to Prasar Bharati for making this possible. I also thank other members of the print and visual media for their presence here today to cover the event. The officers and staff of the ICAR deserve to be complimented for their dedication, teamwork, and effort to organize this event. At the end, I once again thank the Honorable President, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Member of Parliament, and other distinguished assemblage in this auditorium today. Thank you very much.
May I now request everybody to please stand up for the national anthem.
अखिल भारतीय अनुसंधान परिषद का 85वां स्थापना दिवस और पुरस्कार वितरण समारोह महामहिम राष्ट्रपति की उपस्थिति में संपन्न। इस विश्वास और संकल्प के साथ कि जो राष्ट्रीय और वैश्विक स्तर पर कृषि क्षेत्र में आ रहे व्यापक बदलाव और चुनौतियों का सामना राष्ट्रीय कृषि अनुसंधान प्रणाली और प्रस्तावित नीतियों के साथ बखूबी किया जाएगा, ताकि कृषि क्षेत्र में राष्ट्र को विश्व का सबसे बड़ा देश बनाया जा सके। और इसी के साथ मैं अपनी पूरी दूरदर्शन की टीम के साथ आपसे विदा लेता हुआ आपको वापस स्टूडियोज लिए चलता हूं।